239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we're kicking ass today. We got Shannon Livingston in here, fully dressed. It's not as fun as it used to be. That's all I can say.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who bought this shirt.
Yeah.
This is how you want me dressed.
Yeah. I mean, I need you to, we've got a few, people that were so fired up about the last podcast. They said they didn't even know what you said.
Because I was dressed a little differently. I believe I had boobs out.
Yeah, that usually ups our ratings, Shannon.
Well, I really had boobs out Thursday night when we did the live. We did a live feed.
It's very nice. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was on there. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, our live feed, we had a bad connection, but it worked out. It was okay. We have some good footage, by the way.
Yeah, we worked it out. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. And you're really good at that.
Oh, well, thank you.
So if you have an event you want us to come, just get with Shannon or myself, right? And we'd be happy to come out and give it a shot. And it's always good to, promote. And we like to do that.
And even if the connection is bad and we can't do a live feed, then we can still get great footage and use it for different social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
By the way, I was watching that interview and it dawned on me that I was fed two characters to interview that don't speak. Neither one of those spoke. So I had to interview Darth Vader and Chewbacca. Neither one spoke in
So how did that work?
Didn't matter to me. I did the lines for both of us.
Hi, Chewbacca. Could you tell me, is this your first time on Star Wars that you've ever came here?
Is that the shitty job that I did? No. It's good that I was Marilyn Monroe and not you, because you would have looked ridiculous.
But how do you interview somebody who can't talk back?
I just responded to, you were there. I responded to
good.
answers that they didn't give me.
Good. You did good. You did good. Shannon was on
people to answer.
And there was some pretty damn impressive costumes. They were really good.
The event planning is spectacular, huh? Yeah. They must have a chair for that committee that is just fantastic.
Yeah, and we had some really good. I don't know, Diana, I know you're back there working, but sometime before the show ends, maybe you can bring up that Instagram where we had them coming down the stairs. I thought that was really cool.
Down the escalator. Yeah, that was so cool. Because we had the Star Wars characters and they had their guns and all that.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was fun though. They did a really good job, and I got a big kudos to Wade and Marty at the board and yourself for putting the committee together. And there's a lot of work. I mean, and they did a great job with the videos, and it was really cool.
You were in one of those videos. You were one of the stars, which was nice.
Yeah, I thought it came out pretty good.
But I thought about it later.
You were in all of them.
And that's what I thought. I did not pick the videos. I did not plan that. The committee actually chose Hollywood night, and then other people chose what videos to show. And then after I thought, wow, that whole event looked like I just planned it around me being up on the big screen. It worked out for me.
Shannon is not shy, which is great. It makes it so much better.
Yeah, I wish I was that manipulative. But I don't look that far ahead.
No, you definitely did a good job with all that. Everybody did there.
Committee. Yeah, thank you. So there are a lot of people that come together and donate their time to make fun things like that happen.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what it was, NABOR did a great appreciation for their members, and it was a Hollywood night at Silver Spot, and it was a fantastic event. Just kudos to everybody there. We have another red carpet. We're probably not going to be there, but another one in Fort Myers that's coming up for their film festival.
They have really.
Is it festival or festival?
It's whatever you want to call it. Depends on how many cocktails you've had.
None.
Alcohol is the devil. I keep trying to tell you this. Doper. I don't even think cannabis is considered dope anymore.
She used to get so mad at me when I used to call it marijuana. So now I call it cannabis. Now I call it doper.
Now you're educated.
Yeah, now call it doper.
Just baby steps with you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Time. Yeah. No, I get it.
So the film festival in Fort Myers has really stepped up. Eric, who is not a friend of mine, but dates a friend of mine, so I feel like I know him. It's like
that's good.
It's like staying at the Holiday Inn.
Yes, right? That's good.
But no, I have watched all of the work that he has done on this festival, and it's just phenomenal. One of my ex-husbands is a film director. Or was. I think he's in another.
Does pornography count?
Not anymore.
Okay. All right.
He did do a little bit of that, but he also did regular films. Yeah. And there's just so much work that goes into it. You you do some of that production stuff, you and Diana. So
It's a lot.
Right? It's a lot of
Yeah.
work. So to see somebody's dream really come to life like that, and to have these festivals to kind of showcase these up and coming directors and filmmakers, it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, I think we have a little slide for that one, a
Oh,
picture for that for the festival, and it's coming up
the festival.
May 18th through the 22nd, May 18th through the 22nd, and it is, by the way, it's the hottest ticket in town. Southwest Florida to Hobnob Industry creates basically a lot of good stuff. So yeah, there it is. The red carpet.
There we go.
And again, if you can see it, it's from May 18th through the 22nd, and it's gonna be a pretty big event.
Yeah, at the Davis Center, and
yeah, I think we got a picture of the Davis Center too as well. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that!
Wow, it's gonna be really neat.
So the director's name is David, and he's done a really good job. Maybe we can have him come on and talk about it a little bit, because I don't think I'm going to get up there to that red carpet to do interviews. How about you?
No, I don't think I'm going to go, but you never know where I'll end up. It's hard telling, but we wanted to let everybody know we roll the red carpet out both in Naples and Fort Myers. There's a lot of good things going on.
And even if we do not go to all of these things, we want everybody else to be aware.
Yeah,
The electrified fence in between Lee and Collier County, it's not going to get you every time.
No,
you can go to this.
We don't want to end up in Sheriff's Marceno Motel. That's for sure.
I know. Well, especially if you're not a dog lover, right?
Yeah,
this recent case.
We've got a little case here. We're going to talk about that too.
Oh, can we talk about it now?
Yeah, we can.
Up.
We can. Absolutely.
So Joe,
I love it, Sheriff.
Joe had not seen the video of this. I was talking about this story today. He said, "What are you going to talk about on the show?" And so I mentioned this story, and I said, "You haven't seen the video at the gas station?" And he said, "No, what are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, it's always different when you have a video, right? Like, it sounds terrible, but then you see it actually happening." And, as crazy as I am with all of my libertarian bullshit, I said, this is one instance where I think, for an authoritarian government presence. I want this guy locked up. I don't want them ever to have animals again. Anybody that they've ever known in their lifetime, let's check them out too. I'm just so disgusted by this. And then Joe was saying, well, it's great PR, for Carmine and all of that, but does it really make a difference with cleaning up the streets? And I said, you would think it doesn't, but I firmly believe that, the douchebag that's going to hold up the 7-Eleven, that is the same guy that's going to punch the dog. And so if you do clean up the streets from these people that are abusive toward animals, you're probably also taking that guy off the street that was going to, rape the old lady and hold up the convenience store, because it just takes a special kind of piece of shit, I think, to punch this dog. I mean, he was repeatedly punching the dog because the dog ate his sandwich.
Yeah, that's what even alleged said. So, and I will tell you, I think I've said this before. I've known the sheriff for a long time, and we go way back. And the sheriff, one time, his young dog. So it is obviously a attraction to a lot of people, right? They really would rather see people go to jail for life for injuring a dog than sometimes a person, right?
Yeah.
We understand that, but I can attest to the fact that Sheriff Marceno, he is like a dog lover and an animal lover.
Right.
So it's all legit. That guy puts it out.
It can be good press and be true at the same time.
He loves animals.
Which is what I said to Joe, that if I was sheriff, I would be the same way, right? I love animals a lot more than people. I imagine in law enforcement, that is not difficult to have that mindset of loving animals more than people. And so what happened in this case is you've got this guy and this girl, they're at the gas station, the dog's in the back of the car. And the video from the gas station that apparently was shown in a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and then reported. So thank you for Facebook groups. And he was just repeatedly punching this dog in the face, right? Yeah. And it had broken teeth and hemorrhages and all kinds of stuff definite damage from this beating. It was hard. And so both he and the girlfriend are, acting stupid. They didn't do this. They don't know what's going on. So she's a piece of shit too.
Right.
Right. So let's lock her up. So when they went to court, Of course, it was crazy because somebody who hits a dog like that can't control themselves. So they go to court, and Carmine had asked, or the prosecutor had asked for, or not a prosecutor, because this is the civil part of it, not the criminal. And so they asked that the dog be taken out of their custody, which was granted. And then came the part where they said, we don't want these people to ever be able to have a dog again.
Came and said,
right,
I'm suing you.
Yes.
You're not going to get that
and
dog back.
So they're not getting the dog back. They're not going to be able to own animals ever again. And Joe's like, so a fish, like, is there a blacklist at PetSmart? And I said, I don't know. I don't know how they enforce it, but that's one of the contingencies. And then the third thing was that the sheriff's office asked that none of the relatives of these people be allowed to go through the adoption process for this dog, and then be able to give it back to the people. Yeah. So they don't know how exactly they're going to enforce that part. And that was the only part that the judge said, tell me how you see it being enforced. But to have a judge tell you that you can never own an animal again because you're just such a horrendous human being, what does that feel like?
Yeah, it feels like it should. If you feel like an ass, and then like you said, you get these animals, and there's so many ways you can train them, and not every dog's going to behave. Trust me, I've been frustrated.
I'm going to eat your sandwich if you leave it in the car.
Yeah. You'll eat my damn sandwich. Yes. Yeah, oh yeah.
So
and maybe deserve it.
You don't leave your sandwich there
every now and then.
I mean, my little Bichon used to jump up on stuff like a little cat or something, and she would eat your banana bread, your whatever you had.
Yeah, poor dog.
But that was not. Yeah. I didn't even yell at her because that's my stupidity for leaving it out.
Crazy. Yeah, and
but so then this court case. So I'm not done with this.
No, go, Shannon.
Because I read up on it because I'm just so horrified by this behavior. So they were in the courtroom. And when it comes to the point where the guy that's being accused of the crime, I don't even remember his name, I don't care. The guy that's being accused of the crime, it's his turn to ask the sheriff's deputy questions, and he totally flips out and starts flailing his arms and crumpling up paper and saying, I can't handle this. I have to get out of here. I can't do this. So they remove him. I don't know if he has PTSD or what the deal is, but they removed him and discussed whether he needed a bigger room or just his own room, and to, come in via Zoom. So they let him be in his own room. They give him an iPad. He's participating via Zoom, freaks out again, throws the iPad, cracks it. Yes. So the Zoom goes black. So then now the girlfriend's there the whole time, also at the courtroom, obviously proud of her man at this point. And so then they come back, they have to recess again, and they come back. And I think, the lawyer says, yeah, he's here, but he won't be participating. Like he's in the room, he's going to listen, but like no more iPads for him. So I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but the beating of the dog is obvious.
Can we help this guy?
Shannon,
can we help this guy?
So much anger. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Did you see him? I don't
know what his diagnosis is. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's, going to work at.
He might not be a candidate. Is that what you're trying to say? He might not be a candidate to be.
But here's the thing: does he have a brain injury? Is he high on drugs? Was he, addicted to something when he was born and then beaten repeatedly every day? I don't know what has happened to him. We're all little computers, and what happens to us in life programs us.
Yeah, and we got our Eduardo. Poor dog. That's what we got, and that's absolutely true, because the thing about this is, like, these, as these animals and young kids, they can't take care of themselves. They can't, and then nobody's out to protect themselves.
Well, not only can they not take care of themselves, but they're trusting you to take care of them. And then this girl said, "Oh, we didn't do all of that damage. He was abused before.
Yeah,
he came to us. He had been shot in the head, and so that's what had happened to him."
Can we have one more?
Just
can you
ridiculous.
Throw up that picture one more time of him? That Sheeba.
Look at Sheeba.
Yeah, what a good dog. And they've actually cleaned him up a lot. Got him set up. Her
poor girl.
Sheeba. And they've done a lot of work. And this is not the first time this has been done. I know the sheriff has done this several times. So anything we can do to support that cause, help the poor puppy out, I think it's a big deal. It's a real big deal.
And what do you think about the correlation of people that are abusive to animals and then go on to commit other, not then, but commit other crimes? Is that an accurate assessment?
And I know you're nervous to say there's been a study, but there has been, right? There has been. That's one of the first indicators that you're going to be some sort of killer at some point.
So it's a major deal when you find somebody abusive to animals and you take them off the street. It's not a minor thing just done for PR.
Yeah. And plus this guy has been involved in a lot of other things too. So that is one of the major indicators when people abuse animals at a young age and they grow through that. They really always have that there with them.
It's a lack of empathy.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, if you go back and you look at a lot of the serial killers that have been out there, I think Ted Bundy had that same situation. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
I think he dissected cats or something when he was younger.
I think people have gone back into a good portion of these serial killers or killers in general and have basically learned through the years that they have.
They showed those signs.
Tortured animals. Yeah, so that's one of the big things.
So that's like serial killers and one-on-one. What do you think motivates these mass shootings? We just had another one this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to get to that too. We had a total of 3 or 4. We had the one in Buffalo. We had the one in California. We had one in Texas. I mean, this is getting outrageous. This is crazy, and it always has been, but it's just like crazy.
Is gun control the answer? Do we have more mass shootings or do we just have more coverage? What is going on?
Well, I know that it always goes back to the gun control, right? And I'm not saying that there's a situation out there where easy access to something would probably lend itself to something like this, but these people are committed. This one kid who was 18 years old up in Buffalo, he walks in, he drives 230 miles to this grocery store where he knows it's going to be predominantly a black community. He goes in searching for black victims, right? People to shoot.
As he had said he was going to do.
Yeah. And he basically, I think 10 people died so far, and there's several people that injured.
He had been assessed in July of last year. And so they were aware of him. But that's the thing is you can only hold people for so long for their thoughts. And so how do you know if somebody really is a legitimate threat? And, I don't know. I see the numbers of these shootings. They're usually on some type of antipsychotic medication. Sometimes they stop it suddenly, or sometimes they're on a different cocktail of things. But I think it's the mental illness. It's I don't think it's the gun ownership myself.
Yeah. And this guy was really set out because, as one of our listeners just mentioned, he did have the N-word on his.
He was a white supremacist.
Yeah, it's like an AR-15, I believe, a assault weapon. That the gun does not shoot itself, right? We always go back to that. People carry guns in, they pull the trigger, they do this, the mentality. And the thing is, easy access to something, I believe, could always be a problem. But the thing I'm saying is people are mowing people down with cars. Right. Where's it end, right? And the thing about it is this guy he had body armor on him. This young 18-year-old had body armor on him. There was a security guard at the store. He was there. He exchanged gunfire with this subject, but the security guard ended up perishing. He was a former Buffalo police officer, and they said he was a hero when he worked for the agency, hero in this day. But unfortunately, this kid had body armor on, young man, 18 years old, and he won that battle. So it's just a terrible situation that wherever you go, you constantly got to be on edge for somebody or something like this to happen. Church. Look at the church.
I know there was a church in Taiwan, where they had an issue where they had a shooter, and the churchgoers had to tackle him. So, is the solution more guns or more training for people to have guns out in society? Is it, reporting your neighbor for being a little off or going off on racist rants at a picnic, or what is the answer here? Are we all just going to have to police each other, shoot each other?
Yeah. I think it's identification, early identification. I think they had this young man, the 18-year-old that shot in Buffalo, they had him identified, right? And I've been on the other side of that. You're a law enforcement officer, you identify this person is not stable, right? However, they don't meet any requirement for them to go someplace or to do anything. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if there's anything that you could do to change that person's mind.
Right.
What do you do? The kid knows what to say. I was just talking crap. You know, that was just something I was going to say. And then a year later, they go and actually carry it out because they're mentally, it's not real to them, or it is real to them, and that's what they want to do. You know what? I don't know that. I know some of these viewers might be able to give in. We got a lot of people on right
so
now.
do you think it is viewers? Do you think it's an issue of the pharmaceuticals being, so that we're just inundated with meds now, and that I think it just screws up people's brain chemistry? Is it the fact that we have more news and so we're hearing about it more often? Why do we keep hearing about these mass shootings?
Well, I think there's a combination of both, right? So they know, these mass shooters know, they have a number, their goal basically is body count, right? So they go in and they're trying to kill as many people they can, and they know that within seconds that is going to be broadcasted throughout the world, and that's kind of the gratification that they're looking for. They want to do that. They want to put that dent. They want to be known. They want to be basically a martyr, right? So that's from their ideology. So we do a lot of training on this. We talk about it. I mean, early identification of people in your community is good, but the thing is, there's only so much that we can do.
Right.
You know, as law enforcement
has a
officer.
nutty neighbor, or a nutty relative.
And if it's not a gun, right, it's going to be a car. You're going to mow down somebody with a car, or you're going to put a acid bomb, or you're going to do something silly.
Right.
Now, I will tell you that if somebody's got really easy access to weapons that they're not mentally stable, that's going to be a huge problem. I mean, there's no doubt that's going to be a problem. But if I'm licensed and I'm trained to carry a firearm, go for it, man. I think you need to carry a firearm.
Do you think,
just in case my biggest fear is this shit's going to go down when I'm there and I don't
and you're not
have a firearm, and I'm sitting there going, damn, my family, everybody is at risk. That's the problem. That's what I need to
do you think
get over.
That open carry deters violence from happening? Do we see less of this in open carry states?
Here's my thought. This kid drives 230 miles. He's in the parking lot, right? He makes a determination he's going to go in and shoot. I don't know if he went in and scanned it out, but he's going to go in and shoot. He's not going to go in. I mean, in probably some cases they basically do probably a walkthrough, right? But he's going in to do it, right? He's going to go in. How does he know who's got a gun, who doesn't, who's inside the store? Now, the open carry, there's a security guard that's fully armed.
Yeah, so
in the store, so
he could see it.
If you're really thinking about whether or not somebody's got a gun, it's going to prevent you, then you probably wouldn't have picked the grocery store with the security guard in it. You probably would have picked another store with no security guard because you knew that was going to be a little bit of he went in knowing that's what he's going to do. How do you stop that? Now,
I think kamikaze behavior.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that, having firearms, my personal opinion is you can't have enough, but they have to be in the hands of the right people. And how do we do that?
And do we have citizen training, right? Because again, Joe and I were talking about this. I would rather see training out there for people to use firearms responsibly and for children to see them more as tools and not something glamorous from movies. Yeah. Because I think we have normalized guns, but in a glamorous way and not a responsible way. And it used to be the old, if you grow up on a farm, then you grow up with guns, and we're not the ones shooting each other. It's the ones that don't grow up with guns. So I think normalization has its merit, but only when it's done in the right way with responsibility.
Yeah, no doubt. And, Brittany, she made a comment as well. She says it's a combination, the news, mentality, combination news, enough resources for the mentally. I believe that's a big one, right? There's no place to put them
because we can't criminalize them. Like this guy, people get involved, and like you said, as law enforcement, you can't just lock somebody up because their brain isn't right and they're having horrible thoughts. So how do we give them the resources that they need so that this doesn't happen? And this is such an issue that we talk about, and we have these galas and fundraisers for mental health. Yet when Joe was talking about calling into work possibly, and he said, "Oh, I'm just going to act sick," and I said, "Well, just take a mental health day." And he's like, "Yeah, that's not like I'm not doing
They don't
that.
have that. Yeah.
Right? Like that's not real world,
Yeah.
right?" And I said, "Yeah, I didn't think that really existed. Like I don't think my boss would like it if I just said, 'Oh, I'm just emotional today, and so I'm going to take a mental health day.'" So we're not there yet. We're not in the place where we take it that seriously. We still criminalize it. We still ostracize it.
Well, and I think we have come a little bit. We've taken some steps, but the problem is if you have 4 active assailant shootings in a weekend with 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 people getting killed.
Different motives.
Different motives. This is crazy. Churches. I mean, who we used to be in the schools, right? Schools, churches.
So do you think
department stores, shopping,
social media and the internet makes people feel like they could be famous, and that's part of that, like you said, that is part of what is ramping it up, is the attention that they get?
Yeah, you think about some kid, right? He's 18 years old. He's got no friends, maybe been bullied, whatever the case may be. He's got an ideology where he hates blacks, right? He's has this feeling of white supremacy, whatever the case may be. He's sitting there stewing at his house, and he really, in his eyes, he probably has nothing else to really live for, right? He's got nothing going on in his life. He's sitting there going, tomorrow really doesn't matter. This is today. Tomorrow doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be glory for me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'm going to complete this mission. And now everybody knows who he is. Everybody's seen his picture. And if he was going to off himself 2 or 3 days later anyway, why wouldn't he do that? I mean, obviously in my mind, I know why, because these poor people are out shopping. They're grocery shopping. They're with their families. This one guy goes, I ran to the store to get cupcakes. Right? It's crazy. I think we have a video as well. And I think, we'll come back to my mother's got some suggestions on there too, but social media is a big one. I think we have a little video clip of
when I first saw him shooting. He shot a woman, he shot a deacon, he shot another woman, and then he went in the store and started shooting again.
I don't think we have the volume on it.
The worst nightmare that any community can face.
We'll come back to that one if we can get it back up, but we'll talk through it. The video. This is kind of the situation at the store,
I still don't even believe it happened.
So actually, as you can see, this gentleman here, he just basically said he went in there, and next thing you knew, they were shooting up the place, and they were firing and cranking up.
Her,
in
and
that
then
situation,
they cover
you have a
somebody
gun.
that was behind
Are you
her.
going to take cover
I
and
realized
hide,
at the
or are
time
you going to
that
try to
those were
find
dead
that
bodies.
gunman and take him down?
If I'm there and I'm armed, I'm gonna go to the shooter. I'm gonna basically we call it eliminate the threat, right?
But you have training to do that. So what about me? Because I also carry, but I'm not nearly as proficient, especially I think in that situation, being under stress. So what should I do? Should I hide or should I take him down?
Yeah, ultimately that's going to be a decision you're going to have to make.
My body's going to take over at that point.
Yeah,
right?
personal decision that you're either going to.
My body likes to fight.
You're either going to get the fudge out of there. You're either going to get the fudge out of there. You're going to go. And me personally, I'm going to tell you right now, if I got a gun, I'm going to try to take some sort of advantage point.
Yeah.
And try to take this guy out or gal.
In the past, I have not been a runner, even though logically I want to run. Before I know it, I'm like getting involved in whatever situation it is, and so I hope I'm never in that situation. I can't imagine having to take another life too, like going to the grocery store, and at the end of it, you don't have cupcakes, and you've had to take a human life.
Yeah, no, it's never a situation you ever want to be in. I don't think, and but it's a situation where you're like, listen, if I was put in that situation, and again, my background and my career lends to itself. I was in the military, law enforcement, but if there's a situation that ever lends itself to that where I need to do that, there would be no doubt what my obligation and what I would do, man. Yeah. And I wouldn't have any, I mean, you never want to kill anybody, but I'd never have any questions about,
because you're preserving multiple lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
anytime we have a story that has body count in it, it just, I wish I knew what the answer was to help society. We have got to stop killing each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But
do you think we need Jesus? Do you think we need no politics? Do you think we need medication? A little cannabis?
I think a little bit of everything besides, they can calm people down.
A little joint, little Jesus.
I think that we all know that drugs, alcohol, whatever those are, right? Those affect the way your mind and body work, right? Mm-hmm. That's the definition.
Sometimes
right?
you need them. Yeah. Sometimes you need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're all negative, because we all know that people do things when they're inappropriate, when they're not on their meds, right? Mm-hmm. So they're off their meds. So there's obviously some receptors and disconnects when they have the meds, things are running. I like to equate it to a car, right? If you're running a car with 8-cylinder car with only 4 spark plugs, right? Something's not right. It'll go down the road, but it's not right. If you give them the medication, give that person the medication, you plug in those 4 other plugs and things start to run a little bit smoothly. So some people's chemical imbalances cause them to do these things. But I also think that there's people that are evil out there. There's people that will do this stuff. They are evil. You
don't think it's unbalanced? You think it's just really evil? They get
I think it's a combination. It could be a combination. I think obviously there's some unbalanced, whether it be something that could be handled through medication, or there's just people out there that truly are evil, and they think evil and just not a good scenario. And
sometimes they look like Pam Hupp, and they're just like a soccer mom, and they kill people one by one. And sometimes they're a mass shooter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anything else we got a big week ahead of us?
Yeah, we do. We have a big week. Lots of stuff happening. No, it was a long week last week, and I just rested up this weekend. And so now this week I have to actually work. I usually work over the weekend so that my week isn't so crazy, but I didn't do that. Yeah. So this week is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Good week. We had a great week last weekend. We had, the studio was filled up. The classroom was filled up. Great class. Pinky did fantastic.
Did you learn?
I did. You didn't learn shit.
Oh my God, I was such a problem.
Yeah, you were definitely that student in the back.
I did not understand anything past like the first
But once you don't understand it, you just can't. You just got to say, all right, I'm done. Fold up your books and kind of watch. But you always have to I don't understand what the fuck's going on.
But I have to ask questions to make sure that I really am just that stupid. Like, am I missing something?
Well, what you do is you get halfway through and I really don't understand it. And then you can ask maybe one more question, but that might be limited at that point. Because I would like Pinky be like,
the rest of the class was looking
like, Shannon,
at me.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and she also said that. And so so I knew like I was done. I was holding back the rest of the class.
But you don't check out. You just kind of like act like you're kind of doing what you got to do. Because
a lot of people froze.
But a lot of people don't know what they're doing, but then they take it in. Yeah. And they just kind of go home and try to figure something out. Learn a little bit. Go on YouTube. Learn shit.
I did. So my phone froze like 4 times, and then I learned that
Mercury. Get a new fucking phone. You get like the 1942 friggin' goddamn iPhone. Oh, is it?
But Mercury's in retrograde, and so I think that was my problem. So maybe I'm not bad at Instagram, but also Instagram is highly edited and it's all visual, which is the opposite of me. I'm highly verbal and not edited at all.
That's you.
So it's a challenge for me. But I'm gonna own Instagram. Yeah. I'm gonna learn.
I'm gonna buy Instagram. The whole thing with Elon Musk is the Twitter thing.
Are we gonna talk about that Friday?
He decided not to buy it, or he's thinking about it. Yeah, he
wants real numbers.
Yeah, he's looking on. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I've already put it out there. I am buying Twitter.
Okay.
Because I know Snoop Dogg wants it too.
You do drive a Tesla. You're on your way to becoming Elon Musk.
Yes, I'm so close. You have no idea.
You got to stop driving that car. You're having like delusions of grandeur.
Twitter is mine. I am going to buy Twitter. Woo! That's going to be good. That's going to be interesting to see how that pans out.
I want to drive that car.
It's fun. Yeah, it's good.
And then I'll also be on your Twitter.
It goes like a banter. Be on my Twitter. You can be on my Twitter. That sounds like bad.
That sounds very sexual when it is not.
I'll be on the Twitter. 239. That's Sense Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. We always have fun. Shannon Livingston, thank you for listening. Please keep giving us more questions, more answers. We're there for you.